ToyLeet Assembly. Step up and see flashes the ToyLeet crew. We're the kings of the game, yeah, the chosen few. From the shadows we rise with the rarest finds. Collect them, respect them, we're one of a kind. ToyLeet, ready the streets, elite with the feats in this collectible feast. ToyLeet, never the street, we're the heart of the beat, where all playmates meet. Check our stacks, our collection supreme. Limited editions, every collector's dream. We're the myths, we're the legends, with every drop. Taking over the block, we never stop. In the alleys where the headphones play. ToyLeet's the name, hear what we say. Rising, thriving, always vibing. In our realm, we're always diving. ToyLeet, bring the street, the lift ToyLeet, setting the pace. With a snap of the case and a click of the lock, ToyLeet's on top and we're ready to rock. Collecting more than just toys, we're up. We're up. We're up.
Welcome, everybody, to our totally serious, hard-hitting 2024 United States presidential election night coverage. You are in the right place for all the latest I lost you, Ed. Well, I lost my co-host. He was supposed to cut me off there and say toy talk, because yes, you are in the right place for all the latest toy talk. That's right. Tonight we're putting politics on the shelf because the real winner here is all of you. All of you guys attending and listening in tonight. You guys are the winners because you're going to be escaping the chaos with us at ToyLeet. Ed and myself will dive deep into our plastic passion, not the polls. And we'll focus on action figures, not election figures. So forget the electoral votes and join us as we celebrate what truly matters: collectibles, community, and a distraction we all deserve. And Ed, you completely ruined my intro.
Man, blame it on the Wi-Fi, dude. Blame it on the Wi-Fi. It's like the song ended and all of a sudden my screen just went black.
Oh, man, his internet is dropping like crazy tonight. So I think we're going to be without Ed. I don't know what he's dealing with right now, but no, I kid. We're not focusing on elections tonight. We are focusing on toys. We are focusing on Toyvember. We know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, especially for those of you in the U.S. We got a lot of real world stuff going on there, but this is your opportunity. Look at that beautiful face there. He's Ed Axion Figs, frozen for us right on there. I'm going to keep that one up until he joins back up, just because that's comical for me. But all said, let's enjoy the night. Ed, while he's working on his technical difficulties, I'm sure he'll be rebooting and connecting here. I'll keep it going. For you guys that don't know us, that's Ed Axion Figs. And as he would normally say, this is Mr. Wonderful, a.k.a. Plastic Daddy, Travis. We like to get together and talk action figures. Plastic passion is what we do. We do it every week. Last week, we had a special guest, Brick Something here. He filled in for Ed, which I might need somebody to fill in for Ed, because Ed, where are you? I'm not quite sure where he is, but I'm sure he'll be back once the internet's working. All things considered, everyone's got some real world stuff going on, but we like to just check out and enjoy a conversation about toys. That's what we do here. This show's been around for 29 episodes, and before the episodes that we were the ToyLeet Takeover, Ed used to get on here with his son and do a stream, talk about different things, toys, plastic, things around that. But what he used to do is shout out from the crick, which we always do that segment every week as a throwback to the origination of the show. We always like to take some time and shout someone out who's doing some cool stuff in the community, whether it be, raising money, like we shouted out Punk last week for him and all his activities to do the, give a kids a Christmas through the Toys for Tots program there with the Marines out there and Sarge Red's group over there. This week we'll be shouting somebody else out. We always talk ToyLeet or Toilet, which is our segment. A play off our name. If you say it too fast, it sounds like a flusher, a toilet. We like to talk about a toy and see if that toy is worthy of going on our shelf or if it goes down the toilet and is considered a flusher. From there, what we like to do is we like to talk news. We don't talk about the Mattel and the Hasbro because there's plenty of other great looking, wonderful voices out there on the YouTube channels that do things like A Punk with Toys, like unboxing art. And Oz, he talks Four Horsemen stuff. There's a lot of people that do more of the mainstream stuff, and folks that do that. So go check those guys out. We talk independent toys. That's where we focus on your Animal Warriors of the Kingdoms, your Kickstarter programs, your Valivore stuff, your what am I thinking? Savage Crucible. How could I forget that one? Your Four Horsemen figures, things like that. With Legions Con coming up, we'll talk a little bit about that. But we like to talk about the toys that are made by the people that are in the community. I'm getting a call here, and I'm not going to no sell this. So, hey, what's up, Punk? Yeah, dude, sounds good. Thank you. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm going to go ahead and I think this is how this stuff works. Give me 1 second here. I know how to find my friends, right? My network wants to work, right? Sorry about that, guys. Okay, great. So going back to it, we talk toys. We like to talk about weekly news. We go through all the things that we found on Instagram with the posts from all the different folks. We go ahead and we chat about those things. And finally, my co-host is back, but he's not got a mic. Can we hear you, Ed? I'm
here.
Oh wow, man. Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Must be all that political traffic going on the web. It's just
here's the thing though.
Oh, look at this.
Comes the money.
I missed yesterday.
Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money. Here comes the money.
Here we go.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
What's happening?
How's it going?
How do we do this? Here we go. That's what I was looking for.
Go.
Awesome. This is like a ToyLeet party. So thank you, Punk. See, that's why we don't no show, man. I'm not used to going solo, dude. That's why we don't we no sell the phone calls, man. We pick it right up online and go live. So thank you, Punk, for joining in. Hang out as long as you wish. I appreciate it. We don't know how long Ed's network's gonna work.
Kick me out whenever you want.
Matt, you're welcome, man. I know you had the night off yesterday. We can get a good 3 hours out of you here tonight.
Yeah.
So obviously, I
tell you, after Oz and I did our 24-hour stream, Punk, him and I were both like just completely burned out on YouTube. So I can't imagine after 40 hours you pretty much went.
Oh, goodness.
Like I said, there was going to be a learning curve, and next year, because this will be an annual thing, there will be no Monday show. The Thursday was fine. I didn't have to do anything, but man, I just went right into doing slides and stuff, and it was too much. And then it didn't help. I'm sorry to take over your show, guys.
You're fine, man.
It didn't help doing all the Monster Force leading right up into it.
Oh,
It was
like
just
the
sitting
reviews?
in this chair, and then I had to get everything ready, and it was it was too much. And you live and learn, and I mean, I guess that's how you that's how you learn. So
Yep.
Right. Well, good deal, man. And I appreciate you stepping up and stepping in here for us. Always good to have another special guest. That said, again, we are the ToyLeet, and we have, if I can figure that out, we have another member of the ToyLeet here, Punk with Toys, who also, perfect segue into this, we have Toyvember this month. I'll talk a little bit about it later, but we also have a Punk with Toys who's one of our judges. So if you haven't done Toyvember, there might have been a little confusion earlier on. You didn't have to pre-register. The pre-registering aspect of it was just to get some bonus points, so we had an idea of who would be participating. That said, we're only 5 days in. We'll cover this a little bit later. There's still 25 chances to get your daily points, but there's also 25 more chances to get judges' points thrown at you too. So don't hesitate to start taking part tomorrow. I think even A Realm of Toys started off today by doing it, and he put out a cool one. I think I made him up his game because I was putting out some pretty kick-ass wrestling posts, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put Bret Hart out here." So
Yeah,
I guess
playing
somehow I'm
second
gonna have to
fiddle
find
that Punk. I mean, bitch. That's the Punk at the end.
right. But so Punk's going to be one of our judges and helping, provide points, and we'll talk more about this later, but please, check it out. All you got to do is at the ToyLeet Takeover Instagram thing, do the hashtags for Toyvember, follow the daily prompt, and be creative with it. I've been surprisingly just doing all wrestling photos, so pretty creative myself, if I do say so.
Surprised.
I didn't see that one coming, but I have like the most like Dio stuff for it already, so it made it for a little bit easier so for me to tell my story that way. But that said, I'm going to throw it over to you, Ed, for a second. We got a topic later we're going to talk about. That's one of the other things we do, but we like to go to the chat. So why don't we hit up the chat real quick? I know you like to run through that.
Certainly. I show this guy, but he's already here. So,
and I already played his music, so he got that already.
I was first and got to be an unexpected guest.
And we got Fat Red Foo in the house. What's up, Fat Red? And we have Payne's Toy Sample. I welcome the distraction. That's good. We like to distract. And we got the man himself, Ostradamus Toys. Hello, friends. What's up, brother? Man? And we are now. Oh, I froze up.
Oh shit. Well, Punk, he had just introduced Oz, so we'll go ahead and we'll go on from him. We have Nolan. We're officially a YouTube channel because Nolan's here. Thank you, Nolan, for joining. We have Thanos Copter. Right, we're official. We're YouTube official, right? So we have Thanos, and he posted a really cool photo the other day that I really liked. And Thanos, I do appreciate you. Fisting? No, I don't think that was the one. I didn't see that one. I was gonna say before you went there, Punk, is I appreciate you, Thanos, for your photos for Toyvember, not making them explicit, shows of affection. So I appreciate that.
I do not understand your directions for this, so you may want to re-explain it. Maybe you explained it and I missed it. I was very jaded that you would have Brick host and not ask me. I'm hardly ever on live, especially that week, and I was very felt shunned.
I hadn't had him on the show yet, and he had us on his show, so I thought bring him over and chat about some things. And he doesn't have as big of an ego as you, right? So there's that. There's always that.
Okay, first off, how can that guy not have the biggest ego with hair that perfect?
That's true.
If I had
and a voice like that too.
Yeah, dude. If I had hair like that, like the dude was on at 6 a.m. All right, and his hair was perfect. And I was like, "What? That's not how you're supposed to wake up." He's like, "I had to drive my mother-in-law to the airport." Well, so you had to do your hair? Like, I mean, to be that, I believe it's just a brick that he puts on top. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'll cover a little bit more about the toy. I think he's coming in. Are you there?
I don't know what I'm paying all this money to Spectrum for if it's just going to keep dropping. I'll tell you, Jesus.
Move out of Buffalo.
Right?
We got my buddy's custom joining. Thank you, brother. I don't know if I missed anyone. You said Fatred.
You got Matthew Matson.
I don't think I got that far yet.
You better hurry up, or he'll argue with you that you didn't get him.
Gets Punk his high chair. This one I had to show. Thank you. I agree with that. Ed was out when we started talking election night. Yeah, Ed and I were totally in sync with how we were going to approach it. He was going to cut me off. It was going to be perfect. Yeah. We practiced it a couple times. We also got Clint George. Yeah,
Jorgensen.
Clint J. Yeah, that one.
Jorgensen.
Thank you for jumping in. We got Punk here talking, or not Punk, Oz talking about getting excited for his New Jersey trip over to Legions Con, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Then we got Mr. Matthew Matson. I said it correctly. We don't stream on Mondays. Now you take sides in the Great Tuesday Stream Wars. Yes, he is ToyLeet, Matthew. He is. He's part of that group.
Well, he didn't want to be part of the big show. He wanted to be part of the show.
That's true. That's true. So that said, I'll talk a little bit about Toyvember before we go, because I don't have anything I got this week, and mostly I've been just taking a lot of pictures. Toyvember, it's a challenge, it's a contest. Previously to the first, we gave everybody the opportunity to sign up through a Google form just so we had an idea of who was going to be participating. What we've done is we've got a few sponsors, ToyLeet Takeover, Hexastack, Hexagon Figs, and we also have the name's what name is it? Sorry. I always want to call him Tony. Wolfley. He's sponsored some stuff. Specifically, I'll talk about what he's doing later, but there's toys that we're going to be giving away prizes. The first show on Tuesday in December will announce the winners. I've got a bunch of things that I've donated. We've got a Hella Dope Toys gift card. We've got quite a few different things I'll talk about a little bit later. But basically the idea is you follow the prompt, you just do a post, and as long as you do the post based on the prompt, whatever toy plastic kind of configuration you do, and it falls in line with the topic, you get a daily point for participation, right? It's 2024, folks. Everyone gets one. So there's that.
That's right. It doesn't even have to be an action figure, because somebody did the Starship Enterprise in one of the pictures.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Have fun with it. I mean, use a plastic water bottle with a paper straw. I don't care. I'm in New York. That's how it works here. So have fun with it and go ahead and do what you want. Make a cool picture. Challenge yourself. But more importantly, it's about building the community and involving everyone. We've had a good turnout already. I do appreciate Thanos keeping it PG. I won't be giving away bonus points if you go non-PG, but I will be more implied to give you bonus points if you keep it PG, because
I will give extra points for the spiciness.
So, the idea here is you get points. There's the judges. We've got a Punk with Toys. We've got Axion Figs and myself. And we also have Random Diorama, who will be a judge. There may be a couple other judges as we continue through the month, but the idea is these judges are going to review these posts that are being made. I'm collecting them all, putting them in a single location for the judges to go ahead and administer their points. And at the end of the event, we'll select the winners based on the performances and points they've earned. And depending on how many participants we have is how many prizes we have. Right now, we do have quite a bit of prizes. That's all we're announcing for now. And I will announce those a little bit later in the slide deck. There's a ton of prizes. It's just challenging yourself to take a different photo. Was that clear enough, Punk?
All right, so what brought this on? This kind of like filling.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I mean, maybe you would.
No, not at all. Not at all.
How do you guys do this vertical thing? It doesn't drive you nuts. Like, I mean, my head's big. I mean, my ego is fucking huge, and you want me just to fit in this rectangle.
How else do you do it? Like, I mean, I don't even know how to I don't know how to delete the custom ones that we have and stuff. I don't know how to switch it.
So,
don't be having a push button.
Yeah, you don't no.
I know. When I push buttons, weird things happen. Exactly. That was like perfectly timed.
See, when you guys are on like that, it's not. But like when,
right?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just
The three
when
people
we're like
that gets
this, it's
narrow.
better.
Three
No,
people gets
I don't
narrow for sure.
So speaking to what the Toyvember came from, Punk, the idea of Toyvember was my oldest son. He's into art and stuff, and a few years back, I came across something called Inktober, and he was into art, and it's basically a daily prompt for drawing for artists that do like digital art or drawing and things like that. And I thought, oh, that's really cool. I have no talent when it comes to my hand, to a pen, to a piece of paper, so it just doesn't work.
That one.
So yeah, so I mean, it's just not there, man. I barely have talent with other things, so computers I can figure how to use.
He only has one talent with his hands.
Yep, and it's got a big muscle, right?
And that's alone time.
Right there. No, that said, to me, the whole idea was this Inktober concept had come up over the summer. I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, the Inktober stuff's cool, but what if there was something for action figure photography? And I'm like, oh, this is great. Whole different thing. Well, unfortunately, there's this October thing that has been going on for several years, which is very similar. It's done by the action figure.
ACBA.
Yeah, the ACBA. So they do something where, but they have prompts for the, 31 days or whatever, but there's no prizes or anything like that. It's just like post your pictures. So not quite the incentive. To me,
I believe that's highbrow stuff.
What's that?
Yeah. The ACBA has a lot of rules and a lot of guidelines and stuff to follow to belong to it. So
That's Hunter Hearst Helmsley would do stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's not my thing. So that's like the D League in basketball, or like NFL Europe in the football stuff, or college, I guess. Like we're the pros. So in November we have what's Toyvember. So you spend October working on your skills and refining it, and then in November, or as I refer to it as Toyvember, you come out, you follow the prompts, you post daily, you earn points, and you earn prizes just before the holidays, so you can give yourself some gifts if you happen to win. And the idea is just having fun with it, right? And challenging yourself, seeing how people do it. Do they do a daily prompt that is connected and interconnected? We have one guy who's doing, a lot of AWOC stuff. And he's doing stuff, and it's every day kind of telling that story, kind of what I had hoped people would do, because that's what I was interested in. That's not highly articulated. It's
AWOC. I assume it had to be highly
Endless Fables, right?
Endless Fables, that's who it is. Yeah, Endless Fables, who's been doing it, and a really, really cool guy. He's doing some awesome stuff. And you have some awesome wrestling photography where it's telling a story of Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns. So it's like maybe my favorite pictures that I've seen so far. But I don't want to pat myself.
I hope someone does. I hope someone does. Shawn Michaels making Bret Hart tap out.
I have the Vince figure. I have the Hart figure.
You just broke this guy's heart, Punk.
What's up?
What's up, Ken?
Do you have an Earl Hebner? Or Dave?
I have
Hebner?
a fake ref.
I
have a fake ref. I have a ref. It'll work.
We need Earl Hebner. Or Dave. They look the same.
Keep your eyes out, Punk. You got me thinking on how I can play that into it. Could be on a screen photoshopped into a view that maybe Cody's watching at some point, so he can learn how to beat Roman at some point. Because you would want to learn from the best there is, the best there was, and best there ever will be, right? Shawn Michaels. So that's the way I look at it. He's only been here a minute. Awesome. So yeah, that's the Toyvember thing. It's just I love since Ed got me like kind of messing around with taking the photos outside and stuff. I still fell back on the wrestling stuff this year because it's what I know and felt I could tell the best story with. But for other people, they're using different things. What's that?
How did Ken post that?
Ken didn't post anything. What did he post?
Did you even read what you put up there?
I put it up there.
I
said Ken threw his phone in the trash. He hit send. He hit send right when he was throwing.
Gotcha. So I don't have anything this week, Ed. Did you get anything this week?
I didn't get any pickups at all this week.
Punk, did you get anything this week?
I got stuff this week.
What'd you get, dude?
No, hold on.
Well, while he's grabbing that, we got a few people joining in, so let's just run
perfect.
Real quick. Down South 77 or 3-star draw is his AKA is also known as. What's up, brother? And we got Emanon is here, ahoy. And Tony's Figs is here because he saw Punk on, so he's got to join on. And of course, we brought Ken up already, and that is it. All right.
Talk to TextWorks. He's yelling over there. That's awesome. What do you got there, Punk? I'm going to throw you up on the big screen.
I got Nemesis. I can't stand.
Oh man.
Oh, he can't.
They shipped fast.
Like he can't stand. Like he cannot. Wonderful detail. He's the most wobbly figure of the classified line, maybe, which is really bad. Detail is amazing.
In the cartoon, did he have the feet like that? I thought he had boots on in the cartoon.
No, he has boots because I have the O-ring.
Well, was the O-ring only like that because they were limited on what they sculpted out and they were just reusing things?
No, I think in the cartoon, I think he had boots.
Yeah, I think he had boots, but this is supposed to be from the new comic.
Oh, okay.
So, and all the people that are so mad and they're ripping off his sheaths, the original has the sheath. So, you crybabies got to stop, man. Like, but no, he's an amazing looking figure. The detail is awesome. And to anyone watching that watched my review, I missed, he does have thigh swivel. All right. It's super tight and it's so small that when you try and turn it, it feels like it's going to pop out of the joint over here.
Really?
That's why I didn't push anymore. But I try not to watch many reviews, if any. The only thing I really saw was the maybe I can get this thing out.
That's what she said.
Damn. The bacon sword.
I can see it.
Thank you to Bobby for that. But
that's awesome.
He's an amazing looking figure, but he's problematic. Like his feet do not go. Oop. That thing falls off. His feet will not move any further up. They're just a perfect 90-degree angle, and he will fall over easily, especially with the backpack. So I was told that The Amazing would be able to do it, and you shouldn't watch me because I don't know what I'm doing. I love angry comments. I was almost going to do them, but I think I'll do them a little bit later because I'm sure more will come in.
What you need to do is do it to a music backdrop like I see people do. Create a song with it. Use AI to create a song off mean people's comments. I could help you out with that, Punk.
Nah,
it'll be good. It's
okay.
hysterical.
If I used AI, I would be down one moderator.
Oh, really? Ed doesn't like AI? Or do you mean you don't need a moderator because AI takes their job?
I'm saying I get a karate kick to the face. Of course,
let's be honest. No one can take Matty Madison's place. I mean, he's just.
Well, that's true. But I'd get a kick to the face at Joe Fest after he teaches Carson how to do it, who will be a stand-in because Matthew won't go to Joe Fest.
Awesome.
Now I'm taking sides.
So I didn't get anything.
I don't think I get anything else. I don't think I get anything else in.
Cool. I think it's
God, if you have a weak stomach, you may stop right here. Anybody hungry?
So I'm going to do the ToyLeet or Toilet segment tonight, and I'm going to be doing it based off one of my recent gets, which is Mr. Radioactive Man from the 5-inch deluxe figures over at Jack's Pacific, I believe. I personally have been very excited about these. I saw them in the box. I have a few other ones. I have the Bartman exclusive from Walmart, and I also have the Homer Simpson out of that 5-inch line with the donuts and stuff. These are cool figures. They definitely bring that nostalgia flavor back from the growing up as a kid. I think the last time I watched The Simpsons like habitually was back in the early 90s, maybe 95-ish. So it's been a long time. But I do remember Radioactive Man, one of my favorite ones from the cartoon with the comic book episode with the comic guy. This figure itself, it's all right. They do come with like a little diorama here. I don't know how well that's going to come up in the camera view. Sorry. It's cool. It's a little small for the figure. I think they could have went a little bit bigger with it. But I do like what they attempted to do. But I will say the one thing I'm not a huge fan of is like I feel like they could have added an ab crunch in here. They do have decent articulation almost everywhere else, but they do not have like an ab crunch feature on this figure, which I think would have been like where I think it needs to go. So I'm actually gonna flush it. So this is definitely getting the toilet. So it's not going up on the shelf.
Oh,
So that's where I stand on that one. I think this is Jack's.
Jack's
Now, do you have other ones?
I do have the Bartman exclusive Walmart one, and I do have the Homer Simpson donut eating one. They're cool, but they're just not like I don't expect Homer to necessarily have an ab crunch. I expect him to have the waist swivel, but like this, like he doesn't have a waist swivel or anything. Like it's the midsection torso is just it's locked in, and
Or is that
I feel like they could have done a little something. It's yeah, but I mean, like they do have like the articulation in the knees, the ankles, a single joint knee articulation, single elbow, but then they have the arm swivel. They got a wrist. I mean, it's not horrible, but
it's like an upgraded 5 POA figure, really.
Yeah, and
yeah.
how much?
This one was like 25 because it's the deluxe.
Ooh, wow.
But like the other ones are only $12, $13, $14 or so.
What's deluxe? Like, what else do you get with it?
It came with this like backdrop for it, like the comic book backdrop to stand on it or whatever. We'll see what else they do. I feel like with what I got from this, I'm not somebody who goes for smaller stuff, but if I was collecting these just to have that, that kind of old feel and that, Simpson stuff, I would go with like the smaller 2-inch one and just save the money, because if I'm not getting some increased articulation with the ab crunch and things like that, it's, not really ideal. And again, I don't expect Homer to necessarily ab crunch. I don't think he's ever bent his abs in his entire life. So, that's one thing, but Bart and, Radioactive Man, I would have expected to have a little bit more articulation.
You still want to be able to move them a little bit.
Yeah.
Or else just make statues. And
yeah, I mean, or just make it Super 7. So, I mean, there's that.
I mean, then you're going to raise the price of it. And
yeah, that's true. That's true. With less articulation. I mean, but it's cool. It's got the, but again, it definitely isn't one that I would be like, oh, I got to get all in on this line now. It definitely kind of for it being a deluxe figure, I was a little like, not really sold on it. So I probably wouldn't buy another deluxe figure.
Definitely a little underwhelming. That's
what I would say. So definitely give it the flush. Cool. So that said, it's time to go into this. I guess we'll go here, and then I'll move this off the screen for.
Ooh, we're talking lunchboxes, man. I feel like I picked the right show just to jump in for no reason. Well, other than Ed can't get an internet that works.
That's true.
I live in the middle of nowhere. What do you expect?
Well,
before I jump into this and play a little runner here, Ed, is there anybody else you wanted to?
No, everybody in the chat we've talked about. They're just having a lot of conversations, so we're good.
Cool. So let's go ahead and we'll throw this up on the big screen and we'll go right in.
Stacked on the shelves, a rainbow of dreams. Lunchboxes packed with our favorite themes. From metal to plastic, each box a new story. Carrying heroes in all their glory. Lunchbox legends packed with pride. Toys and icons side by side. From G.I. Joe to heroes bold. Memories kept in colors gold. Cartoon faces, battles to fight. He-Man, Barbie shining bright. Star Wars scenes, battles we knew. Adventure packed just for you. Lunchbox legends packed with pride. Toys and icons side by side. From G.I. Joe to heroes bold. Memories kept in colors gold. Cartoon faces, battles to fight. He-Man, Barbie shining bright. Star Wars scenes, battles we knew. Adventure packed just for you. Ooh. Cartoon faces, battles to fight, He-Man, Barbie shining bright. Star Wars scenes, battles we knew, adventure packed just for you. Now they're collectibles, treasures of old, a piece of our past in each handle we hold. Retro designs, colors so true, Lunchbox legends forever new. So grab your memories, lunch pack tight. These boxes bring past joys to light. ToyLeet Takeover, let's take a ride. Lunchbox legends by our side.
I did that song myself. I'm not sure if you guys could tell that it put a little work on the throat there.
I love Matthew's comment.
Which one? He likes it on 2 times the speed?
And he didn't say he likes it. He said it sounds better.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
He said they're way better. He didn't say that it's good either way.
So, yeah, you know, it is what it is. We're known for something we're known for. So we'll talk about the lunchboxes and kind of journey through some of that. I've got one here that I picked up at a garage sale over the summer. This is a topic we were going to talk about a while ago. It kind of crossed over with the toys, so I think it'd be interesting to chat with, kind of bring up some nostalgia from when we were kids, and you know, maybe we can touch on some of those things that you guys remember from those.
I got a good story about a lunchbox.
You must have had the biggest lunchbox ever. It was like
it's not about mine. Not about.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, all my lunchboxes look really big because I was so small. Like
I wasn't going there. I was
like
just making
suitcases.
I was just mentioning
They were so
running
big
away
the
from
punk he had
home?
wheels on his.
Like,
That's
are you
awesome.
running away from home? Do we need to call? It's just a regular lunchbox. That thermos is huge.
And then we'll go into
Down by the creek where the water flows, we're shouting out to those who know. Spreading joy, sharing love, ToyLeet fam, you rise above. Shout out from the creek, you're the best. Hype up the heroes who've passed the test. Community stars shining bright, lifting each other, it feels so right.
So normally Ed does this, but this week, just like last week, I will be carrying this forward. This week, our shout out from the crick, which again goes back to the original show with Ed and his son. We carry that forward. This week's shout out from the crick goes to Wallfly, gentleman named Tony. He has his own his other Instagram, which is Tony Cartoonish, but his Wallfly one here. He's actually one of the individuals who reached out to me for the Toyvember contest and has actually donated and sponsored a number of prizes. Specifically, I have a list of those prizes, so I'm going to share that information now once I find those details. So give me 1 second. But he is provided. Where is my note? I move things around too much.
Fucking professionalism, I'll tell you. Jesus, Christmas.
Thank you. Awesome. So he has donated a figure obscura, Gods of Ancient Egypt, the Anubis and Bastet figures.
Nice.
He's also donated the Fire and Ice Tigra 1/12 scale figure, and also donated the McFarlane Starfire DC Rebirth figure. So he's donated all brand new, somewhere in the $220 range, to sponsor towards a winner, one of the winners for the or some of the winners for the ToyLeet Toyvember event that we're doing. So he reached out to me, no reason to, and just offered to take part in it and make some donations and wanted to help promote it. Wanted us to, refer to his Wallfly. He also has his own Patreon for the Tony Cartoonish stuff that he does. Very cool artist, does some cool stuff. He's done some photos for the AWOC stuff. He posts, that's on his Tony Cartoonish side. But he's been doing some really cool, almost comic style storytelling for Toyvember this month. He's a talented artist. He's a software engineer. He's also a veteran and father. Loves to draw, all that stuff. Wonderful dude, really cool. And he's, just the fact that he reached out and wanted to participate in Toyvember and help sponsor, I thought was really cool. So I wanted to give him a shout out. So if you're not following his stuff, go give him a follow and subscribe to his stuff. He does some really cool stuff, and he has his Patreon too, where he publishes some things there from more of a pencil and paper or digital art. More qualified than me when it comes to being an artist stuff. So check him out. Cool dude.
Tony's an awesome guy. Really good guy. Carrying
into Toyvember, Punk got a jump on this, asking me to speak to it a little bit before. Month-long action figure photography challenge. We're through day 5. Basically the idea here is to connect, improve, and win prizes. All you got to do is hashtag Toyvember and do the @ToyLeet Takeover and hashtag ToyLeet on Instagram. Post the daily photo for the prompt. You can post as many of them as you want. We're only counting the first one that's posted from you. Challenge yourself. Here's the complete list. Originally, we were going to do a daily prompt posted every day, so you didn't get them all at once. But as you can see here, we had a wonderful guest last week that suggested maybe putting them out there for folks to get them ahead of time, so that way folks could plan a little bit more. I guess that's something people do. So that's what we did. So you have all 30 days you can see here. We've done, we're in day 5. The journey begins departure. So, I posted my photo today. I know, Ed, you posted yours.
Yeah.
Or no, you didn't post yours. I'm sorry. Someone else, you posted yours last night. I was thinking the one you posted yesterday for day 4. So we have that. Punk's been posting his daily. He's been doing a wonderful job. He's been posting pictures of John Cena every time. You can't see his shit because you can't see him, so it's been perfect. He's getting absolutely no points, but guess what? He loves to judge people, so he can judge you and give you points this week. So have fun. You want to add anything there, Ed?
No, just have fun. Join in. Doesn't matter if you missed the first few days. Doesn't matter. Points are points, awesome. And there's going to be some great prizes to possibly win at the end of it. So, even if you missed the few points for the first couple of days, there's still a chance that you're going to get, if you do the best photo or a fun photo or something so off the wall that we have to give it extra points. It's, you could still come out on top with the prize.
Exactly. And, as you pointed out, there's prizes, right? We talked about what Tony I always forget his name. Sorry. Tony Cartoonish, Wallfly. Thank you. Sorry. I want to call him MyFi for some reason.
When you get a second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, so I just went over to his thing, and I've actually seen the little Wallfly before. And the first picture is a custom Thane, but it's for Toys for Tots. Now, maybe you guys don't know, I just did a whole big thing for Toys for Tots. So when I see something like this, you need a $5 donation, it looks like. You got to follow the link, and you have a chance to win this. So I just saw that and thought, you know what? I just asked people to donate for me. Not for me, but for my Toys for Tots in my area. And I see this, and I just think, hey, you know what? We should give him a shout out for that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. He's promoting that. That is something that Spiro Toys is running. You can make a $5 donation right at the Spiro Toys website. They have all the information in there. He's promoting that for Spiro Toys, and you have the opportunity to get that. I believe it was completely that would have been a great thing to post. I forgot to do it. But you can for $5 be entered in to win, randomly selected to win the custom painted Thing, which was painted by Jason, and he also has a custom weapon there that's one of a kind. That spike ball as opposed to the normal Thing hammer. But yeah, he's promoting that over there too. So yeah, again, Tony Helms over there at Wallfly. He's in the community. He's posting all the time. Very positive individual, and obviously definitely shout him out.
All right. So as I said, on my over 36 hours, if you don't donate, I don't know why you hate kids. But a lot of you said you don't hate kids. Well, this is your chance to prove it if you didn't donate for 36 hours.
I donated, and I hate kids, admittedly. So,
but again, you hate your kids. No. Okay. So this
I do.
This is a chance to show that you still don't hate kids, even though so many of you said you don't hate kids. Yet I saw people not donate. I'm just saying.
No, And this is an opportunity to not only donate but also win something. One of a
People
kind.
don't know this, but during that 36-hour stream, Punk was taking notes. Okay, I didn't see XYZ post any donations. He's on the shit list now, and you wait. He's gonna someday he's gonna get on steroids and he's gonna call all you motherfuckers out.
Yeah, Travis didn't donate.
I donated.
Oh,
Oh.
I didn't. Well, you're not the only person named Travis.
Oh,
You're
okay.
only one of the
Okay.
travesties. There's
Yeah,
seven.
one of you is a true Travis.
Yeah, I don't represent all of us. I represent me. So I think I did. I'm pretty confident I did. If I didn't,
did.
Punk.
You did.
Okay,
You did.
I thought I did. I thought I did something. Okay, cool. Call me out if I didn't. So for sure.
Nope,
That
you
said,
did.
speaking of prizes, we already kind of covered it, but we've got the prizes that Tony over there at Wallfly had donated: the figure Skura Gods of Ancient Egypt 2-pack, the Fire and Ice Tigra 112, the McFarlane Starfire. But I've also got a number of Cosmic Legion figures: the Sphenix Mineworker, the Kellyanne Shun figure, the Opor A Tiva 83, and the Tusk Pilot figure, all from the most recent Cosmic
You got
Legion
one
wave.
of the names right. That's at least.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Hey, I got in there kind of close somewhere. It was the Tusk Pilot one I got right?
Yep. But carry on.
Yeah. However, yeah, that one. And then the Hella Dope Toys gift card too. So again, we have over $450 in prizes that are, up for grabs from those that are competing. So if you haven't taken part, again, you got 25 days left. People are doing great work already, but that's not to say you can't overthrow those folks that have been taking part already if you're just finding out about it and just having the opportunity to get in there. So go check it out. It's definitely it's a cool activity. If nothing else, see what other people are posting, share it. Give comments, feedback. I posted something today and I went out to Realm of Toys and Emerald Knight Studios and I asked them both. I said, hey, please give me feedback. You guys are both doing a great job. Tell me what I could do better. My lighting suck. Is my story not there? Is my angling not well? Please, and they've given a little bit of feedback. So it's a great way to just upskill yourself too if it's something you're enjoying. Brick something. I haven't seen a post from you since day one, sir. Not to call you out or anything, but you got some days to make up there, man.
Rick. Tisk.
And
That said-
Wallfly has on his Instagram all the prizes that you can win.
Yep.
And I'm
From
looking at
him.
his-
Those are the
Yeah.
donations that he posted. Yes.
and I'm looking at his pictures. And I didn't understand what you meant by he's doing like a cartoon. He's doing cartoon with action figures, so it's not a cartoon.
Comic.
But-
He's doing comic stuff.
Comic. Yeah.
Comics. I'm sorry, comics.
Yeah.
But what I find great is that he has the original Pandora that it was ripped off of.
I didn't realize that. That's from a corpse, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
That wasn't something I was aware of.
That one
learn
I
something
said.
new every
That
day.
one I said. The
That
other
one Buck
ones,
definitely said that.
yeah, the other ones came from Hella Dope Toy. The other
What's
songs came from them, not from me.
What? I didn't say anything. That's
No,
not
yeah,
me.
you-
I'm not going under the bus there. I can back the bus up on myself plenty on my own. Awesome.
You're gonna be on the
Roll
shit list.
Keeper, you should not be watching the news. Go back and watch the intro to this show when Ed's internet completely flaked out.
That's right.
We are your coverage tonight of the presidential debate. No, it's really just the plastic.
All I
So-
want to see is after there is any whoever wins, I hope whatever newscast shows it, they show the picture of Bill, or the video of Bill Murray and Ghostbusters going dogs and cats living together.
Awesome. So again, check out Toyvember. Go check out ToyLeet Takeover's Instagram. See the post. Go challenge yourself. If you haven't done the first 5 days or the first 4 days prior to today, go snag those ones while you're doing it. Post
Or
those.
you're
You
a
won't get
slacker
points for
like
them.
Brick who hasn't posted in a couple of days. It's okay.
Right. You won't get extra points for it, but hey, it's cool to challenge yourself and make sure you're telling that story. So have fun with it. The next piece here.
Hey, before we jump in,
Let's dive in.
Sorry, I couldn't cut Realm off. Go for it.
always dive. Before we do the news, we got to hit the chat.
You're good.
So we have Roll Keeper here. Sorry I'm late. He's watching the news. That's just sad. And we have
You're in the
Wraith
wrong
Mace
place,
here.
man. What's up, Wraith?
And we just talked about this guy here. Endless Fables is with us.
And he's
And-
killing it, man. His
That's
his
right.
photos are awesome. If you
Yep,
like
Endless
AWOC,
Fables is doing an awesome job. He does a bang up job on the AWOC collab every week.
Yep. Yeah, and there's a contest going on for the AWOCs now. Beyond just the Toys for Tots thing, they're doing another contest that you have until the 14th or something to submit for. That has
Battle
to
of the
continue the
Kingdom.
AWOCs. Yeah, I gotta get something for that. Damn it.
And we
I gotta
have
go outside.
Emerald Knight John is with us. What's up, John? And Clint Jorgensen is saying Bautista has the best lunchbox collection I've ever seen. Marilyn Manson's is pretty damn nice too.
Batista's got a pretty badass setup. I mean, I haven't watched Marilyn Manson's, but I did see a stream on YouTube where he talks about collecting that stuff, and he got pretty
And
deep
this
in
guy,
it.
Lunchbox Killer, I don't know why, but he says he loves me some lunchboxes. Punk, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I do want to say I love what you guys are doing, because it truly is like trying to bring the community together. And there's a lot of bullshit that's going on, but I mean, it's cool because it doesn't cost anyone any money. Again, when I tried doing the Made the Power of the Forest, the whole point was to get like $5 or $10 figures, and it wasn't going to break the bank. It wasn't my fault that other people went crazy with.
Yeah, Wraith Mason.
But like this is, you can use an iPhone. It is amazing what you can do with an iPhone. All right, like any picture that I make that's good, I credit it all to the iPhone. I just happened to be in the right spot when I hit it. So, but I love the idea, and you're going to showcase people that people might not realize. I didn't know. I've seen that the
Wallfly.
Yep, it's my turn to forget
this time. I got
Words are hard, guys. I understand. My internet doesn't work, but neither do your brain, so we're good.
Well, you know, a
That's
good point
yesterday.
You brought up May the Force be with you, and it's probably partly played into like doing a month-long thing within the community and trying to build that interconnectivity between all sorts of folks. So you know, it probably played into the fact that I thought that was a really cool collaborative approach to help leverage Mr. Punk 5K over here, or YouTube 5K's status to help elevate others and stuff.
On 6.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. 10K over here. Mr. YouTube himself. No, but seriously, it probably played into the fact that over the summer when I bounced the idea around to Ed, I was like, hey, this would be cool. Obviously, its core came from Inktober, but it definitely probably played into the fact that I saw what you did and I thought it was cool just to kind of circle the community together to do something with one, I don't want to say greater cause, but with the goal of trying to pull folks together, which I thought was really helpful.
It's just fun. I mean, they do Cobra Convergence, right? I mean, it's just something cool to do, that you try and put eyes on people that maybe others aren't looking at, or in specific groups. And I think it's great. I mean, it's fun. I'll be interested to talk to you when this is over, just to see if you found it not frustrating, but
we're taking this first year as a learning experience, just like you did with your 36-hour stream. So, Travis is taking notes once we get going on things that we could do different and all that stuff. So,
but you get anxious about things, and it's like, are people going to do it? Made the Power of the Force was the same way. It was like, oh my God, like I need 31 people to do one thing, and you start realizing 31 people is a lot of fucking people that we may not talk to.
Well, I realized, like, the first thing I realized, and I made note of this, is the hashtag part works, but it's harder to follow. I can do it on my browser, but doing the @ works out better, because if they @ you, then it's tagging you directly. So then I can go share it to my story, and it's easier for me to track if I post it on it. So there's things like that. I also found out how to schedule posts on Instagram way more effectively. There's just things that I've never had to use social media for in that same level of capacity, which is helping me learn how to do things. And, the amount of times I'm opening up my phone going, oh, you got like a billion, not a billion, but you got 10 shares, which is like way more than I'm used to. And I'm like, oh, I need to share this. I'm at this. And, so it's definitely
the other thing that I'll probably be doing for May the Power of the Force, however we do it this year again, because I want to do it again, is with Cobra Convergence, they have a Facebook group page. And then that's how you communicate with everyone. I'm like, well, that would have been a lot easier than what I was doing. So maybe November you want to do a Facebook group page. I know Ed's not on Facebook, but you are.
So, absolutely. There's different ways for sure. Absolutely. We'll keep working on it.
I plan to,
Yeah, plans in next year. I'm gonna take notes. We'll talk about it next month when we go and we have all the stuff to circle back to. But Toyvember, if you're not taking part, you're missing out. And again, it's an opportunity. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's just fun. If you're into that stuff, go check it out.
So
That said,
one more thing.
oh, go for it.
One more thing, Travis. Hold your horses there, pal.
I got
We
you,
got-
brother.
We got TJC in the house, and we have a special guest up here at the top. So give me a minute to find her again. We have
Oh yes.
Bethany, aka Mrs. Black Knight, in
Good
the house
evening.
with us. Welcome. I don't know if they're watching on the big TV, but we're going to play the Hella Dope commercial just for them right now.
Christmas shopping can be hard, but with Hella Dope toys, it doesn't have to be. This Christmas, give the collector in your life a gift they will never forget. Hella Dope is guaranteed to bring the magic to your family's Christmas. They have many franchises, including Action Force, Marvel Legends, and G.I. Joe, and many more. Hella Dope toys. Give Santa a break.
All right, back
Sounds
to
like
you,
it'll be
Travis.
Awesome.
How
Good.
is Mythic Legions or Four Horsemen on like? I feel like the smaller ones would have been more appropriate.
I didn't
Or what?
write that part of the commercial, so
Well, Ted clearly didn't because I didn't hear
Let's
Mossman's
dive in.
Sorry.
no,
I
that
clicked
was
it too
me and
fast,
Luke.
guys.
Me and Luke did that one.
voice. Okay. I was just wondering, like, I because I saw it last time you did it, and I just thought the Action Force, I fully understand. It's a smaller company that they have direct access to, but like Marvel Legends and GI Joe, unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
we know the deal.
yeah.
Well, it's funny that you say that, right? There's bigger companies, and then there's the more independent toy lines, which we're about to dive into, as the realm would say, and talk about some weekly news, give you your updates from different Kickstarters and smaller toy lines, independent guys, the guys that are in the community, in some cases started out in the community as just, people like us. So you have Armies of Ashmore, a couple updates from them. Their rewards are on the way. Fans can look forward to receiving or being able to create Armies of Ashmore figures with blank bucks. So over the next few weeks, incredible custom work will be showcased, starting with Eric Miller's unique Bronto Mage creation and his Brute Weapons pack from their Kickstarter. And they will also be at Legions Con this upcoming weekend, and they'll be folks will be able to see some of the finished customs in person. So keep your eye out to their Instagram and check that out, and then also plan to see some of that if you're going to Legions Con. That's all I got for the Armies of Ashmore. Next, we will go over to our boys over at Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Unfortunately, I don't have some fresh new news from those guys as far as like top secret stuff pre-release like I did last week when our buddy Brick showed up on the stream and shared that Mamba stuff with us. But what we do have is some screens that we didn't get to see last week, where we're seeing Gresh and Corvius characters, and also some of the Brute Bucks in those images. Production is underway for the reptilian figures, showcasing the impressive size and detailed weaponry, like the chain weapon that can be positioned dynamically from his mouth, which you can see in the next screens here. You can kind of see there he has that chain coming out of his mouth. You can see he's got some swords, cool different weapons, new weapons that we hadn't seen previously with the AWOC. So progress there. That Kickstarter was very successful and is opening up the parts library, as they keep referring to it, to allow for some really cool future releases. I really can't wait to get my double all-in backer kits over the course of the next year or so. Yes.
I can't wait to see them.
Yes,
I
Travis,
can't wait
that's
to
the
see all
problem.
those boxes sit behind you, not opened.
Oh man, I'm open on my plastic, dude. All my plastic gets open, man. That's not true. I got some Joes that haven't been open. I do still have some slates from the. I'm looking over here. I do
all
have
my
some.
plastic gets open except for GI Joe and a couple of Cosmic Legions and a couple of Savage Crucibles.
So the Savage Crucible, I just haven't opened these ones. I opened they're just duplicates for my army building. I haven't gotten around to, but the only things I haven't opened are there's a Tekken 8 figure that I have, and then I have some Joes and the Valaverse stuff and the Cosmic, which is all stuff I'm looking to get out of the game of. So that's the only reason I haven't opened those.
I know. I'm just
So wait. So how much stuff do you not have open again?
a lot.
All my stuff is open except for the
Oh,
Valorverse,
that's not true.
G.I. Joe
I got the
stuff.
biker. I got the biker mice from Mars over here in box.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you, the Savage Crucibles.
Yes,
you don't
those
have
are
them
awesome.
open. Does the box just fall over too?
Oh, dude, you're screwed up, man.
Dude,
That's screwed up.
I've been rearranging everything. I've been rearranging everything downstairs, moving stuff around, redoing everything. I'm sitting in the living room. I hear something fall in the kitchen, right? Go in there a little bit later. One figure fell. You know what it was? Shitty fucking feet, fucking Savage Crucibles.
You know why? You know why? Because Roman won't stop going after it because he thinks it's such a badass figure. And he keeps knocking that shit down. No, I have all mine up here, and I don't have a problem with them. Like, I have them on a shelf. None of them fall. They're all standing over here. I have no issues with them. I don't. But I have them sitting up on this diorama thing that I bought, and they're, like, leaning against walls and stuff, so they're probably balanced properly.
I have video proof of it happening at Joe Fest right after I apologized to them.
I'm not disagreeing with you, and that's why they corrected it, and they completely removed the toe articulation from future figures.
So did they ever send out those new feet? Because
those are coming out with the wave.
They're coming out.
Okay. Well, no, I was asking. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, the next wave, they said.
Yeah, but I thought they were supposed to send the feet.
No, they are. They're sending the feet at the same time. They're in production right now.
Yeah, they were being produced and stuff, and they were coming over in the fourth quarter this year, so they should be distributed shortly. Yeah.
I
didn't listen to the stream last night.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all in on those.
I need to get one of those slates from you, Travis.
I probably have a few extras, so we can definitely talk. Because
All
when I went to SoloCon, I snagged some extras that I probably shouldn't have there too. So not only do I have my backer kits, my double Kickstarter backer for that wave one, but I also snagged some at ZoloCon when I was down there too.
Yeah, I just need one.
Absolutely.
We'll talk.
One here is a Kickstarter. It was Battle Cats, the Omnibus and soundtrack Kickstarter. I thought this looked cool. It was just something that, this goes back to our toy adjacent stuff. This actually, I totally missed the open period of time for the backer from when I initially presented it on the show to now, but I was going through trying to pick up and catch up on some of the things that had my interest. And this one funded back on October 22nd, but you can still get in as a late backer. It's with Mad Cave Studios. They were marking their 10th anniversary with their first ever Battle Cats Omnibus Kickstarter. 500-page book, new stories, the Battle Cat saga, some exclusive content, and a vinyl record soundtrack also. So it's a cool thing. You still have time to back it. If you're into that anthropomorphic stuff, I'm going to go place an order to get the Omnibus because I like cool lore. This looks cool, and I could see myself looking into this and going, can I make some custom AWOCs to fit some of these cool characters that I like from that? So I'll definitely be checking this out. But I did miss the original Kickstarter, but you can get in as a late backer from what I saw on their Kickstarter. That's what I got for you on that one.
Let's get
this is just a short, quick update. I believe these guys are going to be at Legions Con this weekend. They shot out an update just this morning, a couple screenshots from their Panther sculpt. It's ready for preview. This is what you can see. There's a number of different head sculpts here. You got the wide open mouth, you got the closed mouth, and you kind of the snarling mouth. Couple different head sculpts designs. The final colors are not set, but it will be in black. The backer kit launch was postponed until the new year. In an attempt to ease the financial burden for folks going into the holidays. I'm thinking they were thinking from a logistical standpoint. It made sense, free up the money for folks because this isn't going to deliver in time for Christmas. So rather than, lock people's money and funds up at that point, they're probably likely to see more success if they wait until the new year. And then they will be
for them to reach that June deadline now too, with that pushing it out.
They were just on. So there was a 24-hour live stream fundraising thing that was done by Dave Wonder on YouTube last Friday night. And I happened to catch some things overnight while I was working on some stuff. And I saw that they had the guys from Brutal Realm on there, and they were still talking about a fairly tight timeline. So it'd be interesting to see how it comes to fruition. I know that what I did hear on that stream, which I hadn't heard previously, Ed, was that they talked about how they had their original designer. They moved on from them And that's when they pivoted to a secondary, designer sculptor who designed the updated sculpts, which actually makes sense because, you know me, I was not really pleased with the original sculpts that they had presented in the previews. So it made sense that they pivoted on the sculptor midway through the promotion and stuff that we were seeing. So they did do that, which I thought was interesting. They will be at Legion's Con, and they'll be showcasing as many of the properties as possible that they have. And they do plan to have the completed paint masters of the main characters on display. I think he says, well, they will be sent. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the case. So they will have the main characters on display. The items will be sent to China post convention. So they will not be letting people handle them. But the intention is to send them out to China post convention. So that's cool.
Ed,
What's up?
Are you going to Legion's Con, Ed?
No.
It's too bad. I'd like you to get video of you just picking up the paint master.
I would.
I know you would.
What's this?
I'd ask first, but
Yeah. As you're reaching for it and you're like within an inch away, can I pick it?
I'm trying to sneak down. I'm trying to sneak down to Legion's Con myself.
What was that? Army of Ashmore?
Yeah. That was a heavy ass figure.
PowerCon?
I can't imagine the shipping on those things. Jesus.
Well, we were talking about that last week. We were talking about that last week with Brick. The shipping on that's going to be fairly expensive because the weight to it. So
yeah, but are they going to be that heavy? I mean, that was just a paint master. It doesn't mean they're going to be that heavy.
My understanding is there's some big boys. There's some big boys.
Oh yeah, that's true. But so it was like that. I mean, that Nemesis Immortal. That thing's pretty big and it's not that heavy.
No. Yeah, but that's made from cheap plastic from Hasbro, right?
I don't know. I'm not a plastic expert. I'm not allowed to talk about plastic.
I'm just messing.
Is that guy real quick? Is that guy Nemesis? Is he the same size as Road Pig?
It's just a slight pinch bigger, but that's probably just how the neck is. So he's the same size buck, but completely different. There's nothing that's universal.
All right.
Which is crazy to think about. Like I can see them redoing something. I can see them redoing Road Pig for another Joe or whatever. Like I said, Captain Gridiron or whatever. Nemesis Immortal, unless if they decide to do other Cobra Law figures where they maybe take some stuff, but he's just such a big boy. I don't. There's not too much that you can do. I know people are already like wanting like a retro carded one with wings. I don't know where you put the wings the size wings that you guys want on a retro card.
Yeah, right.
But I can't get in other people's minds.
Nope.
Mine's already scary enough.
Thanos said that those toys could be murder weapons, and and Endless Fables pointed out that the Brutal Realm guys are super nice. Yeah, I've talked to them. We had hoped to have them on the show. They got caught up with a billion other larger streams, I'm sure, so we weren't able to fit them in. But they've talked about coming on after some of the cons slow down and whatnot. So we hopefully get those guys in here at some point to talk about that because I backed the crap out of that one. Some more bulky male figures with no armor and stuff,
You talked about shipping and like being really heavy with those. Imagine if the old WWF plastic weapon wrestlers came out. Imagine how much those would cost to ship.
The rubbery ones?
Are you talking about the LJNs?
Yeah.
So those weren't that heavy. Like I guess they were individual. Like in a
some of them were like Andre the Giant, Big John Stud was pretty heavy.
They were,
yeah.
And
they were great dog chew toys. They were like the original Kong.
We used to whip them at each other.
They were like the original Kong toys for dogs. So, the next one here is Combat Creatures. So it's been a while since we talked about these guys, the Morphonauts or whatever here. Yep. So their packaging was finalized. The figure packaging is ready to go. They went with an open box and some cool back art on there for them. And then, you can keep it in the box or you could toss it out and enjoy posing the figures with awesomeness. The last figure, they're doing some of the last figure adjustments, tweaking things, including some tighter joints and perfecting the lion skin tone, as you can see in the image. They've obviously gone from like a palish almost like yellow to a much more orange um, lion skin tone that you would see in a traditional item. And, they're also ensuring that they have the, high quality and durability also. They are saying, and they did, in their most recent update, thank everyone for their patience as they wrap up the production of these figures. So we should be seeing additional things coming out shortly on those. Which I didn't back this stuff. Did Ed? I don't know that you did. Did you? You probably were looking to grab one at a later time after the launch, right?
If they look good when they're finally done, I will grab one off of somebody.
Yeah, I could see myself picking up one or two of them once they release. I don't want the armor, so I want to make sure the armor is all removable and stuff. It's more sci-fi than I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So I want the fantasy thing, and I'm all for the anthropomorphic characters, but I don't know that I want them with that like more cosmic sci-fi armor. But yeah, those are
they
cool.
Look good originally, so I mean, I'll probably get one. I like the way the bear looks, so I'm planning on getting the bear when it comes out. But
some of our favorite buddies over there at Creative Beast Studios. They did begin the fulfillment process. Got a couple images here. These are some of the in packages, the Allosaurus, and then the Smilodon. The Allosaurus is 1/18th. That's for you, Fat Red. And then we have the Smilodon, which is one of my favorite figures and one that I'm excited to get. I did pre-order this one. I believe the pre-orders wrapped up last week, I think, or so. But they have started doing the fulfillment of the Beast of Mesozoic and Cenozoic pre-orders. So they're being fulfilled and shipped by Fulfillrite, which I guess is a third-party fulfillment organization. And those orders are expected to be completed. I think this was just the last couple days. I don't remember when I got the news from, but it's been within the last week. They did tell folks to check their emails for confirmations. And this past weekend was the last weekend or last chance to do the pre-order sale. So that was the last chance they were going to get to do that. Again, some things that are going to be available at Legions Con are those two items you can see in packages here. So these are supposed to be in hand at Legions Con with the availability to grab them. So I'm sure folks like Brick are going to be in all their glory snagging some of these boxes if they haven't already pre-ordered them. Then we have some news from the Four Horsemen. They have officially canceled Legions Cons this year. No, I'm kidding. They announced their New Jersey G-Con, which is they promoted the new wave reveal that'll happen on Friday, November 8th, as part of their annual Legions Con event. They're referring to this one as the Reign of the Beasts. I know that there's been a lot of folks trying to look at this image and make some assumptions as to what it's going to entail, things like that. But this is, they're talking about, legendary great beasts of the mythos was in there. And then this will be streamed on YouTube beginning on Friday. The pre-orders will launch following the live event at 5 p.m. on storehorseman.com. And then obviously at some point after that, they'll be available through your retailers like Hello Dope Toys and such. But there's a ton of stuff going on this weekend with the Mythic Week. I've seen them already posting images from folks arriving in the area from all over the globe. Really, there's been people from overseas posting their posts on Facebook and Instagram, showing that they're at the hotel, wondering where everybody is. They didn't realize it's not till Friday. So, you have that stuff going on later this week, which is cool. So definitely keep your eye out for news from them. We'll have tons of updates from them going into Tuesday next week. Anything you have any suspicion, Ed? Speaking of a Legions Con person.
There's Mr. Joe Gonzalez. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
No, I have no idea what this is going to be.
They're going to announce the dragon. Do you think they're going to announce the dragon this week?
I don't know. I would love to see a dragon, and it's the perfect year for the dragon with the 10-year anniversary and the 25-year anniversary. But man,
it's the 5-year anniversary of Legions Con too, right?
Yeah, something like that. So
yeah,
it's a perfect year for it. I would love to see a dragon, and I'd love to see a dragon done by the Four Horsemen. But man,
I think they do it. I think there's other. There's a lot of people getting into this fantasy stuff right now. They used to be the big dog. They still are the big dogs, right? So not to say they're not, but I mean, they have this whole weekend and tons of people, they're sold out of tickets. They've got some day tickets available, but it's a huge event.
Savage that had the smaller dragon at their booth at the last
one?
Whatever.
Yep.
So it's possible
I wonder
if they come out with something kick-ass. I mean, I'm hoping for it. Well,
last year was the bear, right? This was last year was the bear when everybody got that, which I can't believe was a year ago at this point. That's just
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling to think that that was the Bear announcement. I feel like that was just a month or two ago.
I know.
But,
Doesn't
yeah.
seem that way.
Absolutely. So that's that. Big things coming there. Looking forward to hearing from all of our on the ground troops like Oz and Brick and highly articulate, all those folks that are going to be there in attendance. I'm trying to slip down to it myself. The wife has been hesitant because she's like, "What am I going to do?" And I'm like, "I don't care what you do. I just want to go meet my friends and bring Son of Wonder with me." So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Next, we got updates from the Meta Travelers. They had posted some pictures recently, some test shots of the fully articulated, test shots of Crimson Enforcer and Prime. They also had some, customization features where they show a bunch of the armor and weapons and swappableness of these figures. So, they went ahead and they've been posting that. So some updates from those guys, and I'm sure we'll continue to see more. I didn't see anything around timelines updated on that, but I did see that they've been posting out the photos. So it'll be interesting to see the progress there. And I don't know if these guys are going to be in attendance at Legion's Con. I think they were last year.
I believe they're going to be there.
So probably here. I mean, I feel like you're going to hear a lot of things from some of these folks with the Legion's Con this weekend. There's a lot of folks, but it's an independent toy line event for sure. There's so many different vendors there, from AWalk to Valaverse and everything in between. So another update from 9 to 5. This was the Kickstarter that wrapped up recently. They did just send an announcement that the backer kit survey is live. And the surveys have been sent to about 5% of the backers for testing. The check your inbox spam, things like that if you were a backer. Additionally, order confirmation and add-ons, the complete survey to confirm your order, choose your characters and add-on extras that you may have missed during the campaign is available. And one of the things that they announced during this is that they have this picture you can see here called Battle Bits. So these are some accessories. If they hit a total of 350 orders, the Battle Bits add-on will be unlocked for all backers. So you'll have the ability to purchase that. So that's the backer kits there. I forgot to back this one, and I think I'm going to go grab 1 or 2 items here next week and get a couple things. So I think these are perfect for my desk at work. And I've been trying to kind of own stake to that so people stop sitting in my seat when I'm not there. And I feel like if I put some toys on there, it might freak some folks out and they might stay away from my shit. We'll see. The next thing here is Patriot Force. So Punk, this is probably right down your lane with the Joes and the military lines. I don't know how much you pay attention to Patriot Force and what's come across. You probably saw them down at Joe Fest this year, right?
Yeah, and then I got worried because I thought they were coming out of the same factory that
the Fist.
The Fist.
I think they were. I think originally they were tied to that Invincible stuff because they did kind of go silent after all that stuff with Invincible kind of quieted up and failed to launch on a few items that they had previously announced. So
I lost, like, when I thought they were connected, I lost all interest. Although they looked awesome. I mean, they were just a gray model. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think they.
Well, they were just the gray samples there.
But
the
animals looked awesome. I mean, okay, I have not seen this.
So that's why I pulled that up as you were talking. So
yeah,
they did recently. They recently did show some of their prototypes. They're the 3D prototypes, and one of them's the Chris Tanto in the Desert Tiger camo, which I believe is the one on the left. And then you have the other one, which is I don't have the official name, but it's a U.S. Army figure with Scorpion OCP camo, modular accessories. I don't hate the military. I love the military.
You don't even know who they are. You don't even care.
No, I don't know all of them, but there are some secret ones that are later back surprises, stretch goals that I have some ideas on who they might be. I'm like 99% sure I know who one of them is, and I think it's an interesting approach for sure. But that said, these are interesting because the one on the left, I think, looks a hell of a lot better than the one on the right. The one on the right looks like the movie Toy Soldiers, I think is what it was, right?
Yeah.
Ed, is that what I said to you before? Small Soldiers from the 90s. It looks very cartoonish and it doesn't look realistic.
And just might be the angle, and these are not shots for Toyvember that you would want.
Right. My biggest concern is those vests look super bulky.
They do.
Yeah.
Like to the point where it's going to be hard for them to hold a weapon.
Well, not only that, but like even like the one on the left, if you look at it, I'm looking at a higher picture above my screen here, and basically like even the way that waist is, it looks like it's got like like the coat looks like it's going to go over, and it could possibly limit the the movement from the midsection and how they're going to move. I'm curious as to how that all works together. I like what they're doing. I like the attempt. I love the shoes. I love the detail on the left hand side for the shoes. Where you can see the laces, and it looks almost like the Terex type Adidas's that I use when I go out hiking and stuff. But like these are, I'm not sold yet. I'm very much so been kind of shifting out of the military line myself. Originally, I was very much on board with getting these things. I think it fills out, additional, spots on your roster. This I think is a cool line just because of its connection to real life, military servicemen. So I'm all in support of it, but I'm curious to see some more photography from these. I know there were some dogs announced a little earlier today too, right, Ed? That I didn't have a chance to see before.
I think it was just one, but it was
live.
It showed the two different head sculpts with it.
So. Yeah, the only reason why I really know is I was flipping through Instagram quickly while you were talking, and Bobby B had posted it, so it was really fresh in my mind.
Good deal. Yeah, so I mean, these pictures are interesting. The one on the left looks better. There's definitely some concerns. The one on the right, again, it could be lighting, could be angle, just does not look realistic. It looks like it's very cartoonish, almost 3D, animation movie type stuff, but we'll see. Again, there's promise. I think it's a cool thing. They haven't gone to the Kickstarter. I think they've been smart enough to pull themselves back at times when they might have been on the verge of launching a Kickstarter, readjust, kind of calibrate on how they want to approach it, and then continue forward. So it'll be interesting to see how this one proceeds for sure. That brings us to the main topic. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and throw this video.
Stacked on the shelves, a rainbow of dreams. Lunchboxes packed with our favorite themes. From metal to plastic, each box a new story. Carrying heroes in all their glory. Lunchbox legends packed with pride. Toys and icons side by side. From G.I. Joe to heroes bold. Memories kept in colors gold. Cartoon faces, battles to fight. He-Man, Barbie shining bright. Star Wars scenes, battles we knew. Adventure packed just for you. Lunchbox legends packed with pride. Toys and icons side by side. From G.I. Joe to heroes bold. Memories kept in colors gold. Cartoon faces, battles to fight. He-Man, Barbie shining bright. Star Wars scenes, battles we knew. Adventure packed just for you. Ooh. Cartoon faces, battles to fight. He-Man, Barbie shining bright. Star Wars scenes, battles we knew. Adventure packed just for you. Now they're collectibles, treasures of old. A piece of our past in each handle we hold. Retro designs, colors so true. Lunchbox legends, forever new. So grab your memories, lunch packed tight. These boxes bring past joys to light. ToyLeet Takeover, let's take a ride. Lunchbox legends by our side.
Nice keyboard work, brother.
I've done great. It takes a while. Fat Fred, what you have to understand is that's like my commercial break, so I can drink water, check my messages from my wife and kids, and make sure things are there. So it's like a perfectly timed little commercial.
Fat Fred, I'm with you 100%. I'm with you.
If I had more time, I would cut them down a little bit, do some editing and stuff. I just haven't had time. I'm crazy right now with Toyvember. Some stuff going on for this week. It's just been one thing after another, so I'm trying to keep the ball moving. That said, main topic this week, Ed, and Punk with Toys, is we have cool school lunchboxes, right? You know, I've got one that I picked up at a garage sale, which kind of brought up this idea, right? You and I were talking, and we're like, oh, it'd be cool to do some lunchboxes. And I was like, hold on a second. I literally picked up this lunchbox at a garage sale for like 50 cents just because I was like, oh, this would be a cool pickup, you know? It's a little Black Panther from the King of Wakanda, you know, I'm assuming related to the movies. It's a Funko box, little collectible item. So
let us down my very first lunchbox in kindergarten was the Planet of the Apes one that you have in the video.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that one when I found it because it seemed like, you know, between the AWOC and the Planet of the Apes. So
I thought of you too because we talked about the NECA figures coming out.
Yeah.
And actually, at least one of them's out right now.
Yes.
So
can we all agree that the metal lunchboxes are way better than the plastic ones?
Oh, hell yeah.
No. We'll talk about that shortly. Punk, you're jumping the gun. You're jumping the gun.
I wasn't in the production meeting.
Damn it, Punk. Come on, man. You're like going rogue on us. You're like being Hogan.
Hey, Travis, you got to remember he didn't get 3 hours to talk to anybody last night, so he's a little, you know.
I'm itching.
Yeah, he's got.
I'm like Woogie and Something About Mary.
He's like that's why he keeps going off screen. He's like, I got to keep reminding myself it's not my show. It's not my show. It's not my
show. No,
hey, honestly, I do. I've made myself shut up. Like I'm talking too much, and this isn't. So.
Well, hold on. We need to pause for a second. Open up the next one there for a second, Ed. Brick, you missed the intro, which you need to go back and listen to the intro because that was kind of comical. And we also had technical difficulties. And then we ended up with Punk on the stream. But you also missed when we talked about Toyvember and the fact that I think that there's some dude who posted something for day one, asked me in advance to post all of the topics so that he could
after
post
last
daily.
Tuesday of saying, oh, I need all the prompts so I can be prepared. And I haven't seen shit except for day one from you, pal.
I saw day one. I need day 2, 3, and 4. We're on day 5.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Hey, that's not true, Fatred. We're at a total of about 4.5. Oh no, we're at a total of about 5.5 minutes for all music for this show so far. Yeah. No, that's not true.
Fatred just slinging the shit today like he's some kind of wonderful or something. I'll tell you.
Well, I just look at it like this.
I'm not
giving that guy any points.
It took your AI music to get Fatred and I to come together and agree on something.
Yeah. That's it. Punk and Fatred both lose points. I'm taking points away from them at Toyvember.
No points for you. No points for you. No. Yeah. So just kind of jumping in a topic, right? We all kind of remember the excitement of picking out a lunchbox each year when we were younger, right? I think it was kind of like, you know, just like your book bag or your pencils or, you know, your binder or whatever, you know, there was like, hey, I'm going to get my badass lunchbox.
Yeah,
Trapper Keeper.
It was such a different time, though. I remember going in like the department store and there was just a wall of all these metal lunch boxes, right? And you could just, it was amazing. Now you go to like when my kids were younger, right? It was like you go to school to pick out a lunchbox for them and it's like, you want a soft bag that folds out this way, or you want one that zips? Do you want one that's got a, you know, shoulder strap? None of this stuff like is around anymore.
Yep.
Man,
and that's true.
Shooting straight bullets at you.
He has. I know. You know, so that's today we're going to take a trip down the memory lane, right? And we're going to kind of explore how lunchbox designs evolved, you know, especially where we're, you know, kind of carrying over with the toys and, you know, that adjacent aspect of it and pop culture, right? You know, we'll cover some things from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and, you know, even modern stuff today because these, you know, these lunchboxes are being produced even today, not so much to carry to school, right? Because that's really not the thing. I don't even know if they'd let you bring a metal lunchbox to school with the way kids are nowadays. I mean, they're like made of like aluminum foil. I don't think well, maybe like you might pull off.
It'd probably have to be clear so everybody could see your lunch.
You know, Punk's from Michigan because you just talked about a Chiv.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, so kind of as we dive into this a little bit, you know, the reason we it made sense, right? Is carry over with what we talk about with toys is because so often, and even my kids, we had some of these lunch boxes, and my oldest son, when he go visit grandma and stuff, or he go over their houses, he'd pack up some of his toys and put them right in the lunchbox. It wasn't really a lunchbox for lunchbox sake.
Yep.
It was more, hey, how can I, carry some of the stuff over there? But also when we were kids, it was a way to show off our personality or our toys or things like our toys. A lot of the characters that we collected, He-Man and Thundercats, Ninja Turtles, all that stuff, right? Superman, as you see in this image, that stuff kind of carried forward. So as we dive into here a little bit, those that are watching live and such, in the chat, what was your favorite lunchbox growing up? I mean, we all have one, right? Or but I feel like folks from our generation probably have one or two lunchboxes.
It's kind of funny because like back then they had lunchboxes for everything. I mean, you could get lunchboxes from comic books to toy lines, the TV shows like $6 Million Man, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days.
Oh yeah,
I had a Happy Days lunchbox.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, there's things like Mr. T. There was the A-Team.
Yep.
There was all sorts of things on there.
BJ McKay.
This.
Yeah.
What was that?
BJ McKay and his best friend Bear.
Yep, I had one of those. I think
I
my
don't
brother
know
had
what
that.
that is.
No idea
I
what
think
that
my
is.
brother had that one.
The Fall Guy.
Oh yeah, Fall Guy. That was another good one.
That was the movie that came out a couple years ago, right? With Deadpool.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the 70s and 90s, these were metal and tin lunch, lunch, boxes. They weren't plastic until like I feel like the early 90s, right? Like sometime in the 90s.
It was earlier than that. I had a plastic A-Team one in 6th grade, which would have been 85-ish.
But if I remember correctly, if you
so is it safe to say that like the metal ones shifted away?
Yeah.
But I think the plastic one, like when they first came out, they were more expensive. You were more bougie if you had one of those.
Yeah.
Did the metal ones come with like the thermos and stuff too?
When they first started, they did, yeah. But then I think they slowly got rid of the thermos.
The plastic ones, they'd have notches, so the thermos wouldn't bounce around.
Yeah.
For the metal ones, they bounced around. They got dinged up.
Yep.
You didn't have that with the plastic. But also with the plastic, a lot of them didn't have designs completely around everything. Where the metal, it was everywhere, and a lot of it was. I used the word embroider, but is that the wrong term?
It was embossed.
Embossed.
Yeah.
Which was awesome,
Yeah. And those things are
designs all over this one.
Those things are indestructible. We used to, you come on the school bus, you'd whip it into your seat, bang around, your lunchbox would squish your peanut butter and jelly, it didn't matter.
But when it got bent and it was hard to get it to close.
Yep.
Oh man. That I remember. So then I must be recalling the metal lunch boxes must be more of a retro thing, because if I was born in 84 and in my mind, I feel like I don't remember having metal ones that I took to school. I remember having plastic ones. I just assumed that was like kind of coming of my age in like the early 90s when I was in elementary school and stuff.
I think around like the mid 90s, you started seeing the collector's boxes come out.
Maybe that's what it was
where
from.
People would, like you could get I had a G.I. Joe one from the 60s Joes it was full of like popcorn and chocolate covered pretzels and shit like that,
And
I mean,
it had flocked hair.
What's that?
And like you said,
It
right?
had flocked hair on it.
The chocolate covered pretzels were flocked.
And they like you guys already alluded to, they would cover these with different designs, whether it be $6 million man. You would have the Joes, the He-Man, the Star Wars in the 80s and all that. The Ninja Turtles in the 90s, Transformers, My Little Pony. I know that was your thing, right? Right, Punk? The My Little Ponies?
Care Bears.
Oh, Care Bears. Oh, I remember the Care Bears, actually. Yes, so I do remember those on there. But, I
fell from care a lot and stopped caring.
When Punk takes off his shirt, he's just got a little blue rain cloud with a raindrop.
So they went like this, and they would shoot their stuff off. I'm hiding hiding the rain cloud under the Superman.
Care Bear stare.
Trying to be serious and stay here and pull us back. I can't with the two of you. like the how from your time period, Ed. Like, I think of Star Wars, right? We know Star Wars was a massive marketing monster, and we talk about the toys, the movies, everything in between. There was, they had a classic lunchbox that when I was looking into it back in 1977 that came out, and it had artwork from the movie scenes on it. Instantly became a collectible, right? So were people like were they keen to that immediately to go, oh, this isn't something I'm just going to send to school with my kid. I'm going to shelf this and store it. Or
I
was
mean,
that
I'm
not
sure
really,
there was
like,
some, but collecting back then was kind of a niche thing, right? I mean,
okay.
but I had an Empire Strikes Back lunchbox. I mean, I was the shit in my school because I had the Empire Strikes Back lunchbox, and wasn't a lot of kids that had them, and I didn't give a shit about it because I just liked the pictures and it held my lunch, and I beat the snot out of that just like I did all the other ones. So
Right. And I mean, then in the 80s,
after they got done
was a
being
big
made,
one, right?
my dad just turned them into screw box holders and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. They
They were great to throw G.I. Joe figures in and take them to your friend's house.
I mean, it's exactly what my son was doing when it wasn't with Joe figures, but when he would go to my grandmother or with his grandmother's, he'd pack that stuff up and throw it in the.
That was the biggest problem with a lot of them, though. Is like the lunch boxes, because they were so built, would last. Like Punk said, you'd have a hard time closing the lid. Sometimes that little plastic thing would not close right over top of the lip. But the thermoses never lasted as long as the lunch boxes, and that was
okay.
Our parents sent us to school with milk to stay cold all day.
Yeah.
or chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
So it was the chicken noodle soup I used. It was chicken noodle soup that I had. I remember that.
And you could flip it over.
Yeah.
My mom was cool. I got to go with cherry or grape Kool-Aid to school.
Yeah, imagine having milk in there.
How many of us
we turned out good.
If we weren't as strong as we were as a society back then, how many of us would have got sick just from milk staying inside that thermos straw and everything else? Because you could just drink out of those thermoses.
Oh, you just grossed it out so bad, dude.
Yeah, think about that.
Oh man,
do you remember the thermoses? And I want to say it started with the plastic lunchbox. Ed would remember where it had the straw that flipped up.
Yep.
And then you would drink it.
Yep.
There's no way our parents ever washed the inside of those.
No.
There's so much mold.
And think about it. The Stanleys became a big thing for the last year and a half, 2 years, right? And my daughter has one that has a straw in it and stuff, and I got one. And it has that flip up type straw piece too, right? So when I drink from that, one time I put I was drinking water and I threw one of the, little energy splash flavor things in there, and I let it sit for the day and I was drinking it and stuff. And then I went and I filled it up with water, for a day or two. And I rinsed it out or whatever. I didn't think anything about it. But a week later I looked in there and I was like, holy shit, there's shit growing in here. Yep. I'm like, you can't put anything but water in that thing or it's just going to get so disgusting. And when we were kids, we know, as Punk said, ain't nobody was paying attention to that. You were slurping up all that little black mold grime from the inside of it. Oh, it's so disgusting. Yeah. But hey, we're better
Bee's
for
mom
it. That
was
was our penicillin.
Bee's mom was not cleaning the inside of those thermoses out.
Right, exactly.
You do know Leave It to Beaver, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know you do.
I know Leave It to Beaver.
Wally and Eddie Haskell.
I know it. I found out about it from pro wrestling when they had that one guy that acted at Mosh and Thrasher from the Headbangers. They did his Beaver cleavage character.
Really?
Yeah, you'd have to go look that up. Little deep dive there. Little deep dive into pro wrestling there. It went real deep on that one. So yeah, that's how I know about it. That said, the classic designs, they go all the way back, right? But then, there was also toy pop crossovers, right? You have, as you can see here, you got the Mr. T, that was very pop culture.
Right here, you can see it's plastic.
Yep,
this one's a plastic one, yep.
And Mr. T was big during the A-Team.
Yeah, that was the cartoon where he was the gymnastics coach with his dog Spike.
Didn't he team up with Hulk Hogan?
Yes, he
the A-Team, yes.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 1, but Hulk Hogan teamed up with the A-Team.
Yeah, that's right. He was on an episode of the A-Team. Yep,
a couple episodes.
Yep,
that's probably how they spawned over the Thunder in Paradise.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Instead of having the van, they had that boat. So yeah, one of the big things that they did was the toy lines on Lunchboxes, right? So beyond just like general, pop culture, movies, things like that, they really started to focus on what the toys were. So not only did you go in the toy line and collect things, but as you were going to the back to school aisle, you were buying essentially what was perceived as an extension of your toys. So you had like the Transformers, the Ninja Turtles, you had Barbie, things like that, the My Little Pony, all of those toys that you were collecting in other forms of plastic. As you can see here, you're now getting it in another piece of plastic so you can hold your, peanut butter and jelly sandwich or your stale milk, powdered milk, whatever they decided to send you to school with.
Peanut butter
this
and
was cute.
jelly is still the most underrated lunch of all time.
I love me some
The
peanut
fact
butter.
that you say that, I'm going to give a shout out to Mrs. Darklaw from PowerCon when when they hooked us up with some peanut butter and jelly that Sunday or Saturday, whatever day it was. It was probably the best PB&J I've ever had in my life. So Ted, one out there to you and yours. That said, this whole cross promotion stuff from one plastic to another essentially, was beneficial because for kids it was a way for them to carry a bit of their favorite toy brand with them all day, and kind of connected them with the world of play while at the routine of school. These lunchboxes essentially became collectibles as the toys themselves in some cases. That's why places like Funko, some of the bigger, badder websites out there sell toy boxes lunchboxes to this day. And they cross over. The Ninja Turtle lunchboxes, which we'll show a picture of a little bit later, they were covered in that bright neon colors, action poses, and kids that love the cartoons or toys felt like they had a piece of that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle with them at school every day, where you weren't allowed to bring your toys, but you had your cool lunchbox, and, you'd sit at the table with all your buddies, you'd see theirs, you'd have yours, and you'd open it, but while you weren't with your toys, you kind of felt like in some ways that you were there, and it allowed everybody to kind of express themselves in some different, unique ways while having this piece that eventually became a collectible or could be considered collectible.
Can I tell a little story about a lunchbox?
Yes.
Well, I was actually going to ask. So before you go there, let me ask my question I had here. It was a perfect segue into that. Is Punk, did you have a lunchbox based on your favorite toy line? And for those in the chat, if you did, share those comments too.
Honestly, the only one I can remember having was G.I. Joe. I mean, I know I had others, but I can remember only having G.I. Joe. So in 5th grade, you start getting to that point where you're trying to act like you don't like toys. We discuss this on Thursday with a friend all the time. And I remember there was this girl, and she had it was a plastic lunchbox because it was just how this is. So she had something over the original thing. And I would ask her all the time what it was, and she wouldn't tell me. Finally, I'm like, come on, tell me what that is. She's like, you can't tell anyone. And she peels it off, and it was a Menudo lunchbox.
Fucking Menudo. Oh my God.
Don't know what that is.
Okay, so Menudo.
Google Menudo. You'll love it. Don't even tell them. Just Google Menudo.
Oh, okay. It's a boy band.
Sort of. It was a boy band.
It was Ricky Martin.
Yep.
Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I remember that.
But they were always changing. Like they always changed.
Yeah.
The premise of Menudo was that always be these teenagers, so it was just a revolving door.
It was like
the NWO. Yeah. It was like the NWO of pop music.
But they kept bringing in older people all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like the opposite. It makes sense though.
I remember it's funny that Punk mentions that because I remember in 6th grade, at the beginning of the year, I'd always packed my lunch up to that point. And I remember in 6th grade, my mom bought me a GoBots lunch box, right? It was plastic. And it had Cycle on the front of it and the other GoBots behind them. And I took it like for 2 days. And I remember everybody kind of mocking about the lunchbox. And that was it. I never carried a lunchbox again. Bought my lunch from there on out.
Yeah, I was crazy and stupid.
I mean, I still had a lot of toys at home, and I still took, I kept that lunchbox, but I never took
middle school. If you weren't buying hot lunch, you were brown bagging it.
Yep.
You saw someone with a lunchbox, that was maybe I don't remember anyone having like an actual like cooler lunchbox, like a cool lunchbox, like a cooler. If you had one of these, you knew that they were a total nerd, or they're going to be sitting by themselves all year.
Yep.
So it's funny. I just actually thought about this as you say that, and now I think of like it's funny because I call myself a pinhead because I collect enamel pins of all different things. And I attach them to like my disc golf bag or my laptop bag for work. And like I put those on things so I can kind of have a representation of myself and things I like. I have some Simpsons pins and a ton of wrestling pins.
Do you trade pins when you go to Disney?
I don't. I did when my son was very young and we went there for his Make-A-Wish, but I did not. I did
And
not do.
If you've ever
outside
seen
of that.
Office Space, you know that they're called flare.
I didn't know that.
You've never seen Office Space?
I've seen parts of it. I don't know that I've seen the whole thing. That's the one where they like they take a little piece off the top and they round to like a penny or whatever, and they build up a bank account, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I only know little bits and pieces. I haven't really seen it, but
There's a movie that
I
Punk's
actually
seen that you haven't seen. That's almost.
You've seen it, haven't you, Ed?
I've watched it several times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a
Well,
great movie.
Yes.
Well, I think of like I kind of carried over the lunchbox idea to other things. My laptop has stickers all over it that represent the things that I like. So when I go into work and I go into the state buildings or the client's offices, a lot of people give me a hard time. They're like, "Really? That's the laptop?" Because I have so many stickers all over my laptop, and I mean. I even did it to one of my like Stanley. It's a generic bottle there that I have, and I have a ton of stickers all over that too. So I find myself kind of replicating being a kid with my stickers and pins like you would with a lunchbox to kind of carry a piece of me wherever I go. So while you're brown bagging it, I'm still trying to have my cool lunchbox. And you're picking on me, Punk, for sure, I'm sure. But
No, I'm laughing at Fatrid.
Oh, is he picking me about a music or something?
No. He had a Michael Bolton lunchbox.
Oh.
He's talking about Office Space.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
That's
I'll have to
sad.
watch that movie. So I have a mission to watch that movie now. I got you. I got you.
You work in an office.
Yeah.
You will
I should watch it.
I guarantee you that Fat Red had a Michael Bolton lunchbox.
Possibly. I mean, I could see that too.
Right. He does have the hair.
So the evolution of the designs changed, right? Like way more cinematic and way more, detailed as art has over the last 30 years, right? But one of the things that I had made note of was that they moved from metal to plastic somewhere between the 90s and 2000s. But you're saying that happened in the early 80s, so my information might be slightly off on that. But when they made that, they did it, partially because, become a more durable, eco-friendly, product. The modern lunchboxes were all about convenience, friendliness, and often had insulated interiors, right? So now you didn't have to worry so much about that milk spoiling by lunchtime, which is probably explains why they always had us have lunch at like 10 o'clock in the morning when we were in school, so our milk didn't spoil. But we've seen the revival of classic styles like and new franchises too. You've seen the Marvel superheroes. You see that in the image here. You've had Pokemon, which blew up in the 90s, and now that's even larger today than it was then. And more recently, you've seen things. I know I've seen it that Target, the back wall, Stranger Things lunchboxes, things like that. There's some other companies, that are just
Revelations on
released.
here.
What's that?
You had He-Man Revelations.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was going to say is you have some companies re-releasing vintage style stuff or even more recent, versions of their IPs just for adult collectors. And I think this was mentioned earlier in the chat was, you have a collector like Dave Bautista, former pro wrestler, perfect play, ties right back to me. He's got a massive collection of lunchboxes. I don't know that I like lunchboxes that much, but to each their own. But he has a really, really, stellar collection. If you've never seen it, check it out on YouTube. It's really cool when you see what he's, gone into. And I guess these things are very expensive.
See, when it came to the plastic ones, all they had to do was print a different sticker. So you could have a Lamborghini or a Viper, or the Vipers weren't really around there. Lamborghini, a Ferrari, Mustang, where these were embossed. So there's thousands of G.I. Joes or Transformers and Masters of the Universe that are being embossed. They can't paint over them. That's what they are.
Yeah.
But that sticker, it could be
like that X-Men would be in the shape of the X-Men. It wasn't just a paint or a sticker. It was like, embossed. So the
and if your
tin
friend
was
has
actually
one,
and this one's a metal one. This is a metal one. this is actually something I think that's actively available online
Yeah.
through the Big Bad Guys. And you could check that over there. I actually think I got this right from their site for sale right now. I think they're like
Where?
$25-$30. The Big Bad Guys.
Oh, no, we don't say that here.
That's right.
Right. So I love how all three of our voices sound uniquely different, but all common approach to make
Wait,
it sound
man,
like
we don't say that here.
Moss Man. and we all instantly go to that. But yeah, so
Sam, we got to order these from there, so don't have a choice.
Yes, we do.
that is true. That is
And
true.
I don't even mind.
So with this resurgence, right, and you're seeing, collectibles of all so many things, of different types, whether it be cards or toys or lunchboxes. I'm curious if anybody in the chat is a closet lunchbox collector. Like, are either of you guys? Do either of you guys have any that you guys, have maintained or collected over the years?
No,
I have the one reissue one, like I said, that's a GI Joe one. But like I said, it's actually a little smaller than the original size ones, and it just came with snacks in it. It was like a gift type of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's what you see a lot of it is. You see a lot of those kind of collectible items where it's like a gift set, something inside it, things like that. It goes beyond just being a lunchbox with a thermos or whatever, and it might have like a t-shirt. I think I've seen a few that were like, contained a t-shirt, things like that. And a lot of times I see that kind of on the back wall at Target when I come across them. Seems like something that would be very like FYE back at its prime, and having that type of stuff there. There's actually a store in some malls, I guess, that are out there they're called the Lunchbox or whatever, and it's actually like a novelty toy, collectible store and things like that. But
what is that?
I think there's a company called the
what's a
Lunchbox
mall?
or whatever.
What's a mall?
Oh yeah. Oh, let me explain that to you. First, you get in a taxi and you drive down. Well, you call that taxi with a payphone booth that you go in, and it's the thing that Superman used to change into his underwear in. Yeah, that thing. So
we never took a taxi because they don't exist out here, but we just all pile into our friend's mom's car and
fair enough.
Ride in the back of the station wagon without seatbelts because we were just wild
or the truck, right?
Yeah.
So we look
at
a
story about riding in the back of a truck. One time, me and my brother and our neighbor are riding in the back of my dad's pickup truck, right? And my grandparents lived at a lake, and there was an inner tube in the back of my dad's truck that we took to the lake. So we forgot to take it out, and we were riding in the back of the truck going downtown to the store. And my brother said, "Hey, sit on the inner tube while my dad's driving." I bounced about 8 feet out of that damn thing, landed on the bed of the truck. Luckily, I was probably, 3 feet from landing outside of the truck when I landed. But it bounced me a good 8 to 10 feet above the bed of that truck when my dad hit a bump.
Jeez.
Did he see? Did he see it?
I don't think so, because he would have beat my ass. But either that, or he figured, hell, he learned his lesson.
There's no reason to. He won't do that again. And if he does, he gets the Darwin Award.
Yep.
That's fine. So kind of as we kind of close up the main topic, right? And I had to finish with this one because that blue Ninja Turtles lunchbox is the one I remember. That's the lunchbox that holds true to me as what I remember as a kid. That is the one I remember having. It's the one I remember taking to school. We didn't have a lot of money, so I'm pretty sure I probably used the same lunchbox for like 3 or 4 years until it was broken, as we didn't have much. So until I got free lunches at school, that was the lunchbox I took to school every day. And I remember that one. I remember the thermos that went with it. And I'm not going to lie, kind of on this journey as I did the research for this and pulled things together and was looking at the photos, and I came across that one. I go, damn, I'm not a collector of lunchboxes, but just for the nostalgia aspect, I kind of want to get my hands on that one just to have it because it does, remind me.
I've gone back and looked for the Planet of the Apes ones, the metal ones, but they're so friggin' expensive that I'm not. You can find them for, $100 or whatever, but I'm not going to spend $100 on a lunchbox to have sit on the shelf.
We have a Superpowers, Super Friends Christmas ornament lunchbox with thermos that I put out every year.
Is that something you got like recently, or is it something from when you were a kid?
No, I mean, when the kids and I would always go, we always take the kids to pick out one ornament for them, and then after Christmas, you go back there and everything's 50% off at Hallmark.
Yeah.
So that's probably when I got it. But it's a Super Friends one. It's got the little thermos. So they has Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman on it.
Hallmark has some really cool Christmas ornaments that are very nostalgic.
Kohl's does a good job with that too.
Yeah.
Well, Kohl's has the Hallmark.
Is it Hallmark stuff in it?
Hallmark,
okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it was that or not, but they always have that stuff there.
Where it says Hallmark was probably hard to notice, but
it's hard to read, man. I don't read words well.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm no better, but
I mean, you can't see them because they're always above your viewing plane. But hey, I can't read them and I can look.
What you guys don't realize is that I didn't buy that lunchbox to put on the tree. I actually bought it to take my lunch.
That lunchbox right there was big enough for you to pack your clothes for a month, probably just to travel and visit friends, right? Yeah.
Hey, Travis, before we close out this section, can I just share something real quick?
Yeah, when you're all set with that, and then I want to just hit up the chat before we go to the next one.
But I love that Battlestar Galactica. Cylons are just cool as shit. They just...
Do you want me to stop sharing my screen? Oh, okay, cool.
Is that me as an old man with a lunchbox?
It says,
that's funny.
Lawrence, age 7, height 3'5" with his gigantic lunchbox. G.I. Joe.
And a skateboard.
And a skateboard.
Did your skateboard look like a snowboard when you were a kid, Punk? Like, was it that big? Did it look like a snowboard? Because, they were so big.
And you can guess who did
because
that.
Snowboards were just starting. I started off with the big boards, but also I lived through the era where they got really, really thin.
Gotcha.
That picture was done by Bud.
Gotcha.
My buddy's Customs, for anybody that was wondering. So he obviously did that when the stream started because Larry was talking about how big the lunchboxes look compared to him.
So before we close this up, I know there was a lot of comments you were starring. If you want to open those up, we kind of asked the group if there's, and again, if you guys have any other lunchbox memories or anything you have, it'd be interesting to see what folks remember. I showed a ton of pictures.
Fluorescent green Ghostbusters lunchbox and a G.I. Joe one, both the plastic boxes. Oh yeah, they're both plastic. I don't remember Ghostbusters lunchboxes. Joe had a metal Transformers lunchbox that he used
it transformed into a weapon.
Yeah,
it transformed into a weapon. I'm sure.
The Transformers I remember because it was.
Transformers is huge, dude.
Yeah, well, there was the specific scene that a lot of them had, and then with Optimus Prime and Megatron on the back, G.I. Joe. There was a lot of issue number 1 on it.
Yep.
So
I remember the one with the comic book issue on.
Masters of the Universe, Thundercats. Like there's certain ones like they're iconic pictures, and you can they just transferred them right onto them. But a lot of them were embossed. So if I remember correctly, like the G.I. Joe one, issue number 1, that Mobat was embossed on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really cool.
Dano said he didn't bring lunch during middle school, and he spent his lunch money on Street Fighter. As many people did. Mom, I need lunch money. Well, I just gave you lunch money. I need more lunch money.
Good deal. Is that it for the chat?
That's it.
Awesome. So that's it for the main topic. I do appreciate everyone tuning in this week. We'll give a little preview for what next week's show is going to be. And that's next week, the art of display, showcasing your collection. And what's wonderful about this is we're actually going to have a special guest. It's actually going to be the creator and founder of Hexastack. That individual will be on the stream next week. He might actually be. Sorry, Punk. I know you're in the stream tonight. That was unexpected. Before I didn't plan to say this because you were here, but it just makes it that much sweeter. Next week's guest might be our best guest yet. Travis from Hexastack, the creator and founder. He'll be here talking about how to display figures, talk about ways other folks display them. More specifically, talking about Hexastack, which is having a soft launch within the next 48 hours. So really excited about that. There'll be a chance to pre-order. We'll talk a lot about that next week when people have gotten orders in, hopefully, and kind of talk a little bit about the journey of Hexastack and how it got to where it is, and ways to showcase your collection using a really nifty design.
Finally getting that Kickstarter.
Nobody paid a dime, dude. Nobody paid a dime except for me, this guy. But yes, it is coming.
I paid 2 hours of my time having you on to promote it. Can't ever have that back. I could at least get my Kickstarter money back.
That's true. But hey, we had an amazing time.
I think Fat Red is requesting a special Hexastack themed intro song.
Sounds to me like he's gonna need one. But yes, we'll be talking not just Hexastack. We'll talk other ways to display. We'll talk about dioramas, like what Random does, some of the stuff that you do, Ed, and things like that. Ways you can display your figures, different styles and different approaches. We'll talk a little bit with that.
Folks.
Exactly. In box, out of box, how you can display different things, in specialty containers for those figures so they can dinged and dented in the boxes if you're one of those mints on card folks, that type of stuff. So should be a fun conversation. We'll also be bringing in how is there not a Hexagon of Mojo? Because we haven't hit 500 subs. Once we get there, we'll create some cool ones for our subscribers or our members or whatever. Gotcha.
Don't worry, Foo. We're going to have a special song, and it's going to have your name in it next week.
And I don't know if it'll let me use FU over and over again. So we'll see. But next week, we'll also have a bunch of photos from those that I posted for the first 12 days of Toyvember. So again, reminder, if you haven't gone out, you haven't taken part in Toyvember, look up the ToyLeet Takeover Instagram page. Check us out over there and then see what folks are doing. Take some inspiration. The daily prompts are there. You can see the entire 30 days of prompts. Prep up, do what Brick suggested doing. Go through and get a series of photos that you plan to take for each prompt. Have it canned up and ready to go.
Doing that he hasn't done himself.
That's true. Because he's not planning for Legion's Con or any major event this weekend. So, that said, before we go over to you, Ed, Punk, what do you got going on this week that you want to promote before you get to before we wrap up?
So I have Thursday with a friend where I'm having Wilhelm Toy and Hobby on. So if you want to find out about that 1/18th specialist, the guy is much bigger than you realize. I thought he was a short, fat guy. He's not. He's a tall, stocky guy. And then Friday, we will actually finally be doing a members-only Punks Pit. I said I was going to do it the first of the month, the first Friday of every month. It didn't really dawn on me that it was the same week of the 36-hour stream, and well, I was done. And I will be back Monday, so anyone that was missing me, or maybe I'll just skip Mondays and come do this because this is way easier. I don't have to prepare shit, and I just sit here and let everyone else do it. Like,
you're always welcome, Punk. You're always welcome.
Going on a toy kind of mood.
Your fan base will miss you. Maybe you can have Travis Moody step in for you on Monday nights.
I don't want to lose people.
He's trying to hit 6K, not shy away from it.
I don't want people to be bored out of their skull.
Awesome. So we got you on Thursday and Friday this week, and then we'll see you on Monday at your regular
Only if
schedule.
you're a channel member. If you're not a channel member, you can't see the goodness that goes on. And I might do some bitching about people doing false copyright strikes. Who am I kidding? I'm still going to be bitching about it.
You caught me?
I ain't getting. Nope, I'm not getting.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Don't get me going on this fucking stream.
Right. No, you're good. Well, the only bitching we're gonna have here is when we're trying to elevate the crap out of something and shitting on people for that. But we'll talk about that. And those aren't copyright strikes. Those are trademark, cease and desists, things like that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ed,
that's next week.
What do you got going on?
Oh, let's see. What does Ed got going on? I'll be riding along with Punk on Thursday for a Thursday with a friend with the big man himself, Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. I don't know how he handles 1/18th figures with those big mitts that he has. I shook the guy's hands, and his hands were twice the size of mine. So, and then Friday night, I'll be probably hanging out for Punk's Pit for a while, then modding for Random. Diorama on his late night craft and chill stream on his channel. Saturday, I'll be hosting the Clubhouse, probably on Oz's channel. And they're planning on jumping on from live from the Legion's Con hangout. And Sunday I'll be on with Hella Dope. And then
they're returning this week, right?
Yes.
They're returning this week. They were off last week, so they should be back this Sunday.
Dude, you're only off on you don't do anything only on Wednesday.
Yep.
Damn.
Which is the one night of the week when if I don't have anything going on, I'm tipping, and I did it last night because you weren't on. I'm like, Ed, what are you streaming tonight? What are we watching? And then, Wednesdays is normally, hey Ed, what are we streaming tonight? What are we watching? What chat are we jumping into? And if I've got nothing going on. So yeah, Wednesdays tends to be free.
It was very liberating, not because I didn't spend any time on the weekend creating a show.
Oh yeah,
I talk about how much time you sit in this chair, and if you're doing all that, you know how much time it takes away. But I gotta say, I keep thinking that today is Wednesday, since I didn't do the show yesterday. So if you see me go live all by myself for Thursday with a friend, that's the reason why. Talk about Monday, not doing a show Monday, it has thrown off anything, and then I got like pain going, I didn't know what to do. It was like I didn't have any
Payne didn't know what to do for the first half an hour before he passed out from his meds?
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say
I'll call him out. I ain't afraid. I'll call Payne out.
You don't make it to the 10 o'clock hour.
No.
That's awesome. So for me this week, this is it for me. I've got this. Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm just letting people know. I've got this going on. You can often find me in a punk stream or somewhere shadowing Ed in a stream that he's modding. I have been popping into the random diorama stream late nights on Friday. I've been doing some working, which is why we're launching things this week. I've been really productive there. So been leveraging listening to that calming sound of Random's voice and his soothing jazz tunes as he works on Dio stuff as I work in the dungeon. So you'll find me those places. Definitely be following my boys over at the Hella Dope Toys. God bless those guys and whatnot for them. And then we'll be back next Tuesday. You'll see us chatting. You'll see our Toyvember stuff each day and whatnot.
Toyvember.
Toyvember. Yeah, go out there, take part, win prizes, have fun, be part of the brotherhood and community. We have a blast doing it. I look forward to having someone win these prizes or folks win these prizes. So get these cosmics out of my house so they stop living in boxes. That said,
wait, one last
go
thing.
ahead.
And please, as the stream ends, head over to Pop Blunders so you can see my other moderator, and please let him know I didn't choose sides.
Yes, everybody go over to Pop Blender's channel for Pop Blender and Matthew's The Big Show and tell them that the ToyLeet sent you.
Yes, hashtag ToyLeet Toyvember. And other than that, guys, as I say every week, stay wonderful.
Now, but remember this. Let your toys breathe. Do this. Toys on the desk. It's the new habitat. ToyLeet Takeover. We're loving that. It's a stack high in the air where it's at. Everywhere's a playground for Mr. Wonderful. In the office, living room, let them breathe. Action takes it the trail through the mud and under sail. It's the ToyLeet life beyond the shelf we prepare. Figures and cents in perfect place with extra stats beyond the space. From battle scenes to epic quests, our collection's always at its best.